Dietary restrictions.
Restricting calories results in a strong feeling to feed, and one's adaptive response to this feeling can promote long-term health and longevity. The current paradigm of healthy weight control and energy balance centers on taming our eating responses, thus activating adaptive metabolic responses. Convincingly, a rapidly growing number of scientific studies are proving that the model of restricting calories from eating abundant amounts or too often is a necessity to match health span with lifespan.
Dietary restriction of foodstuffs is gaining the interest of a growing number of people among the more developed nations. They are viewing calorie restriction as the most natural way to control weight.
Groups have formed such as Calorie Restriction Society and Calorie Restriction with Optimal Nutrition, all based on reduced caloric diets. Reported outcomes in members include low rates of diabetes mellitus, increased effectiveness of our hormones, reduced inflammation, and lower oxidative stress. Diets are based on a reduction of calories and are difficult to adapt to. The powerful influence of hunger prevents people from adhering to such diets when there is a growing body of information showing multiple health benefits.
Many futurists suspected that our hunger was getting out of control, and it was about 8 decades ago that early studies of calorie restriction began. As early as the 1930s, researchers have been on the right track, but it has been difficult to prove until recent developments in molecular biology.
Data shows that this method positively affects most features of aging, such as nutrient and energy balance, through enhanced communications between the heart, kidneys, and liver. Increasing numbers of studies are proving that reductions in calorie intake induce anti-aging effects and weight loss.
A landmark 25-year study of rhesus monkeys placed on calorie-restricted diets appeared younger, more active, smaller, and less chronic illness. The results of such studies show the increased survival to the natural lifespan without significant health issues, for humans, which means at least 122 years.
To date, it has been the single most robust method to increase longevity and delay aging and disease across many different living organisms. A barrier to humans when it comes to restricting food intake is hunger. These animals were kept in cages and had no choice. Motivation to act decisively still is elusive to many who are searching for healthier lifestyles and suffer from the overweight condition. Lack of hunger endurance stands in the way. The animals with restricted diets in the rhesus monkey experiment were hungrier compared to the well-fed animals.
Substantial progress over the past 2 decades is shedding light on the mechanisms, biological consequences, and benefits associated with dietary restrictions. Several common themes have emerged from this research.
First, metabolic switching is a function of the cell's ability to resist stress and improve metabolic pathways that produce energy, regulate metabolic byproducts, and reduce oxygen-free radicals.
Second, metabolic switching leads to reduced risk for cancer development by the inactivation of the mechanistic or mammalian target of rapamycin signaling pathways, called mTOR for short.
Third, metabolic switching leads to the initiation of autophagy and improvements in cellular functions.
Fourth, restrictions reveal the remarkable diversity of the fat cell that regulates anabolic and catabolic pathways, with induction of autophagy and utilization of classical pathways like mTOR that reduces glycolysis and oxidative phosphorylation.
We have exited the period when anabolic metabolism from eating often could be considered synonymous with good health.
A review article published in late 2019 in the New England Journal of Medicine looked at the effects of intermittent fasting on health, aging, and disease. Fasting hunger had health benefits, according to Rafael de Cabo and Mark Madison. Deriving energy from adipose cells, energy storage cells have consistent effects of significantly improved health span over time during the period without food. Aging and lifespan are the focus of initial studies of caloric restriction. But fasting had added benefits that included reduced free radicals, weight loss, and enhanced protein metabolism. There is an adaptive response passed down through many generations that improve bodily functions between the kidneys, heart, and liver.
This effect improves glucose regulation, stress resistance, and reduced inflammation, all of which have anti-aging benefits. During the fast, the body is preparing for the hunt, when optimal functioning of the person is required to improve the chances of success in capturing and consuming food sources. Intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating are methods of dietary restriction and prompting critical areas of the body's cells to undergo growth and flexibility. But most people eat too often, thus preventing metabolic switching. Intermittent fasting regimens include several strategies that are growing in popularity. Alternate day fasting, 2 days each week called 5-2 intermittent fasting, and daily time-restricted feeding.
Groups are using this information to guide fasting times to reach specific goals such as lower glucose, increased well-being, mental improvement, generation of more vibrant cells, and improved immunity. Time-restricted feeding, a key part of intermittent fasting regimens, has gained considerable attention in recent years.
This most popular method has no restriction on the type of food to eat, ad libitum food within time frames. The various time-restricted regimens show reductions in body weight, total cholesterol, and concentrations of triglycerides, glucose, and markers of inflammation, as well as improved insulin sensitivity. Such findings are encouraging for groups who manage fasting hunger by such regimens. The goal is more time between eating that reduces caloric intake.
This seems intuitive when viewed through the history of the ancient past, a pattern that has led to the successful development of humankind through the ages. Further changes to include high-value nutrient intake and exercise to reduce disease risk factors.